The Bible is a book written for men by men. The Ten Commandments says it all. It says, do not covet your neighbor's wife, your neighbor's servant, your neighbor's sheep, ram. What does that tell you? It means that a woman is a man's property.
One thing that I'll never really understand is how someone can read the Bible and not come to the conclusion that it's a book written by men for men. And honestly, these days, you don't even have to read it to know that. With Christians in our government forcing the Ten Commandments into schools, they're putting it front and center. All you have to do is read the last one. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male or female servant, or his ox, his donkey, or anything else that is your neighbor's. These 10 commandments that are so crucial and important to Christianity that we're forcing them onto kids by putting them in schools say that your neighbor's wife belongs to your neighbor in the same way that his ox and his house do. And I know pronouns really upset conservative Christians, but it does say his ox, his donkey, his wife. Nowhere does it say that you should not covet your neighbor's husband, just wife. And you can't say, oh, well, that was the old days, because apparently it's not. You guys are putting the commandments in schools. This is what you want to teach kids, that women belong to men. And I mean, growing up Christian, when I read that, I never thought twice about it, but it's right there. Don't covet your neighbor's wife or anything else that belongs to him. It's clearly a book written by men for men.
I have always asked this question, who truly wrote the Bible? There are claims out there of people saying that the Bible was written by men through the direction of the Holy Spirit. Here is another question, were you there? Did you see the Holy Spirit direct them? As humans, we should learn to have an open mind, question things, and do personal research. We should bear in mind that before we came to this earth, people were already existing. They already planned out how things should work for them. They already structured their society. So we're just coming in and getting recruited into a program that has already been set up by the people that were here before us. So it's very important for us to ask questions. Don't just follow blindly. To me, God is real, and the Bible is just too controversial, and some of its teachings aligns with the patriarchy teachings too, which makes me wonder. The Abrahamic books are said to be the patriarchy books, and the Bible is part of the Abrahamic books as well. The teachings of the patriarchy is being found in the Bible. It's like the Bible is solidifying those teachings. They align, so it makes it difficult for people to believe some of the teachings in the Bible regarding man and woman. Those patriarchy teachings that encourages the oppression of women, silencing women, and putting women at the back as servants is still the same teachings we see in the Bible. Search through the Bible, it's the same teachings, but they're being presented in a different way. Both the Bible and the patriarchy system have made men believe that they own women and women were created to serve them. A husband in this video was demanding that his wife should serve him in the family gathering. He decided to grill meat for the family for the whole gathering, but he had to humiliate her by calling her out and saying, "You've not served me." But I don't know why he did that. I don't know what point he was trying to prove. Let's watch the video.
I've been standing out here grilling for 2 hours and not one time did you say, "Hey babe, are you hungry?"
Well, you have access to all the food before all of us do, so what are you complaining about?
Levántate.
Él puede servirse, mira, ahí
She's like, wow.
Ay, tu suegra, como es la cumpleañera, está sentada y ahora no te ofrecí.
What'd you say, Rick? Es no tu trabajas, ama, es mi esposa.
You want to grab your plate and then you serve yourself the meat that you're cooking?
The reason why you ate is because I cooked your meat.
I know, we are so...
Shit.
Ándale.
Hey, look what you made me do.
You're burning.
I already know the comments I'm going to be getting from men for this one. Can I ask why she needed to serve you? You've been standing there grilling for 2 hours. Did anybody force you to do that? You are a grown man. You can make yourself a plate. To come out there and humiliate your wife in front of her whole family, be like, not once did you make a plate for me. And then of course, the other male family member is like, yeah, get up and go make him a plate. You know what I really want to know? I want to know who bought the meat, who organized the party. Like, I want to know all those details. Like, if you've agreed to do a good deed and be like, I'm going to be the person that cooks the meat for everybody, okay? You do that, but then you take it out on your wife in front of her whole family because you don't feel like you've received the gratitude that you were craving from everybody. I need to know, was this your choice to cook for your mother-in-law's birthday party? Or did anybody force you? And then you burn the meat, and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, look what you made me do. This is your fault. This is your fault that I wasn't paying attention to this. Because I came there with the camera in your face in front of your entire family like, you've been sitting here having a good time while little old me has been cooking this meat for your family. Whatever their issue seems to be, and it seems like there's a lot of issues there, maybe there's a better time to discuss this other than in front of her whole family with a camera in her face.
Like I said, that call out was not necessary. I think he wanted to be noticed for his contribution, and he wanted people to empathize with him. While seeking for attention and empathy, he also wanted to put his wife in a bad light. All to him, why should she be sitting pretty, chatting, relaxing, while him is over there grilling meat for the family? Or it's not supposed to be. She is my wife. She's supposed to serve me. Even if she's not serving other people, she is supposed to serve me. That is part of her job description. That man was just trying to impress the family. He was trying to show that he's hardworking, he's responsible, and he's in control of his wife. Men love to control women. They love to show their control and let other men know that, oh, I'm in control. This woman is underneath me. I'm pretty sure deep-rooted Christians would argue with me and say, oh, what that woman did was wrong. She was supposed to be at the service of her husband. She was supposed to be at his beck and call. That is her role to play. They believe in gender role. The Bible supports gender role, and Proverbs 31 woman is a clear example of that. That woman is a yardstick to a lot of Christian women. Let me just have a quick read through of Proverbs 31. NIV titled it, A Wife of Noble Character. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all days of her life. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servant. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. You can Google Proverbs 31 and read through for yourself. I just needed to point out some things. In the whole of the Proverbs 31, it was the woman that was doing. She was giving to the man. What did the man give to her? This woman is a full-blown housewife that does other things to make money. What did the husband do for her? Rather, the husband goes out there to hang out with other men and feel big. Oh, he's in control. He's in charge. He's got a wife at home taking care of everything, both the children. This is exactly what a lot of men are looking forward to. So how is this different from what patriarchy is pushing out? How is this different from the patriarchy structure, the gender role? How is it different? How is this different from the women and slavery we've been talking about? So how is this different from the traditional marriage where women were staying home and doing everything and the man was just a provider? So you get my point now. The Bible is in line with the patriarchy structure. How did the Bible portray women that did not succumb to their structure, their teachings and everything? Women that had the mind of theirs, women that wanted to do their own thing and not live under a man. How did the Bible portray them? For example, Jezebel. I know we have the story of Esther. Esther was married to a king, and what she did was she persuaded the king alongside with her cousin to avoid the massacre and everything. Why was her action something to be celebrated if the Bible is not in alignment with the patriarchy teachings? This is what I mean. Women that were married to men, queens that were married to kings, were beneath those men. The men were not listening to them. The men even viewed them as part of their servants. That's the truth. They had a higher position. It's just a hierarchy. They were all servants, but they had hierarchy. For Esther to persuade someone that she's married to and people saw it to be a big deal, it means that things like that never happened or hardly happened. It means that it was indeed a big deal for the husband to listen to Esther, a wife, but we know it's just a covering, a servant. For a servant under the guise of a wife to persuade a king, which is a man, to halt his plan to massacre people. It's big. How did she do it? But is that supposed to be something that we should celebrate? Yes, of course, we should celebrate it because she stopped an evil act. But isn't that supposed to be an easy peasy thing if they were practicing partnership, if the man regarded the wife? Isn't it supposed to be something that they will talk about? Are they supposed to make a big deal out of it? And the way they put it is like it was not easy for her to have persuaded him. It just tells you that in the Bible, women were subdued. Women were placed under men. Men were not regarding women as anything in the Bible. And how is that different from the patriarchy structure and teachings regarding man and woman, regarding marriage? How? Women are owned by men. Men bought women. They are to serve men. That is a teaching. Women are to cook, clean.
Okay, so I got a lot to say about this. I'm pretty sure I married a man who doesn't like me. He likes that I cook, clean, and take care of everything for him. Of course they stick around, especially if they're spoiled early on. It's stuff like this that has a hand in the whole women initiate divorce 70% of the time. A lot of you really don't like your wives. And I'm not saying this to attack the fellas, because I'm trying to keep this equal, and I'm going to say some things that I think will end up helping, because I feel like there's a consciousness shift going on with dating and marriages, and things are kind of getting shaken up, and changes are starting to be made. There's certain things that women now want or expect from men in a marriage, and then there's certain things that men may realize that they can ask for. But the reason that I think a lot of these marriages are collapsing is because the old time thinking, 70s, 80s, is still lingering in modern marriage today. And you see it in the sitcoms. Guy works, comes home, takes off his shoes, sits on the couch, drinks some beer, and then she's, making mashed potatoes, and all the kids are yelling, and she got to cook and clean and take care of these kids and do all that shit, and he has to do nothing. First of all, women can't stand that shit. Most times women are not going to set that relationship up because they feel like this. They feel like a slave. Like, I cook and clean for you, I'm like your servant and shit, and then I clean up after you. And then men go, well, she won't fuck me. And it's just like, that's one of the reasons why. I'm about to solve a lot of fucking problems right now. But from the men's side, you got to understand also the old time thinking to where it's like, oh, these women are just good for cooking and cleaning. And it's like, no, dude, like, you can have a girl or a wife that's like your best friend. That's how you should set this up. Like, would you be excited to come home to this woman? And not in the first 6 months, bro, because of course, like, everything's like a honeymoon, it's cupcake phase. But is this like your best friend? Or are you like, man, I got to go home and see my wife? Like, if you're setting that shit up, please let me know if it succeeds or not, because it's not going to. You're going to end up in divorce court. And we see this, with our parents sometimes. And I think that's one of the reasons also for this shift that's going on. Because how many people have parents to where, your mom, cooks and cleans and takes care of everything. And then, dad comes home or the husband comes home, and then like he goes to his own area, like a garage or some shit. And like he's there most of the day. And then like they talk only when she like knocks on the door or opens the door and is like, hey, dinner's ready. And then he comes in, and it's just an awkward conversation that like for us is just like, damn, this is a failing marriage. But like we don't say nothing at all. And then they eat, and then they go their separate ways. And then one of them goes to sleep, and then the other one goes to sleep right afterwards. That's a recipe for failure right there. And I think a lot of us are scared of that. And so my point is, fellas, make sure that you're going to connect with this woman. Not just that she, cooks very well or she can clean. There has to be more of a deeper connection, and you can ask for that and you can search for that. And I think women want that too. So essentially, we want the same things, and we want to be appreciated.
How are you as a mom supposed to work 9 to 5 and then drop your kids off at school at 8:30 and then pick them up at like 2:45 and then meal prep, make dinner, do laundry, keep track of all of their activities, then take them to extracurricular activities, work out, be a good wife, be a good daughter, be a good friend, and then also take care of your mental health? And I'm sure I am missing like a whole slew of other things. Like, this is just a general thought I have. How are we supposed to do this? Oh, and you're supposed to have a side hustle. You're supposed to climb the corporate ladder. What else am I missing?
The struggle is real. I honestly have no idea how single parents do this. I truly do not know how single parents do it, and I think they are actually superhuman. And yes, I mean that for actual single parents, but then also single parents who are married but have to live as a single parent because the spouse doesn't pick up their end of of the work. Ultimately, we do live in an extremely hard world that makes it extremely challenging to make it to where both parents can work and still do their daily stuff that they just have to do. My beautiful wife and I are both physicians, and our kiddo goes to school. There is no way we would be able to do it without tons of extra help and having the resources for that extra help. Not to mention schooling and daycare and all those things are so expensive. So my wife and I, we are very fortunate and have great privilege for the opportunities to be able to pay for a nanny, to be able to pay for daycare, and honestly have jobs that allow us a lot of free time outside of work. But I know that not everyone has those opportunities and those luxuries to be able to do that. And this is something that makes me so mad, where you see the gym bros on the internet like, it's not that hard to stay in shape. Why don't you just exercise? Why don't you just meal prep and lose weight? Why don't you have the money to pay for a meal prep company? Why don't you have all the money to buy the more expensive food? Well, that is because a lot of parents, a lot of families do not have the luxury for their only responsibilities to be to exercise and to eat healthy. There are so many obligations and so many things that parents, single parents, moms, that we have to do that it makes maintaining our own life extremely challenging.
Men live with the illusion that women can't do without them, but when it's actually men that can't do without women.
What I'll get is a lot of times in the comments, well, I take care of the lawnmower and I'll change the oil in the car. I mean, you can go to Jiffy Lube, man. But taking care of kids, taking care of the household, grocery shopping, preparing meals, planning everything out. And you know what I keep coming back to? The mental load. It's the worry, the care, the concern about the things you need to do next. It's not picking up the kids from daycare and preparing meals and grocery shopping for this week. It's like, hey, did I notice whether or not their sneakers need to be replaced? Are their feet growing? What are they going to need? So I'm talking about it now. So it's just so much to be engaged and doing all of these things.
Woman slavery is what the Bible and the patriarchy system acknowledges as a good woman with a noble character. Like I said before, Proverbs 31 is a good example of this. And I'm pretty sure you've heard people talk about the cooking, the cleaning, the mental load. The Proverbs 31 woman did it all for the husband. I don't know what the husband did. She was selling, cooking, making clothes, everything. She woke up early, very early in the morning, and slept very late. I wonder if she was a robot, if she was truly a human. I wonder. Or if it was a patriarchy that just made it up. Just an example, because this is what they want from women. Because what they wrote there is what is playing out in our society. So with such teachings, a lot of men believe that they are here to live their best lives and use women as a tool to achieve that. They want to have kids, they will impregnate women and leave it to women to parent those kids while they go out there and live their best life, which is very much unfair on women. To think that you're a religious person and you believe in your religion, then you turn to your religious book and your religious book supports that injustice. It's heartbreaking. These teachings also encourages men to cheat. We know of the story of Solomon in the Bible. He had a lot of concubines, and at the end of the day, they still painted him to be a good man, the man after God's heart. Was it Solomon or David? One of it. I think David was the man after God's heart, but Solomon was called the wisest man. What does that tell you? The injustice. Solomon had 700 concubines, if not more, slept with people's wives because he had the power to, but they celebrated him. Isn't that exactly what we're seeing in our current society? Men sleeping around and having this mind that they can do anything and treat women anyhow.
And do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Is he loyal to you?
He should be, yeah.
Should be loyal,
yeah.
Right? Okay. Can I put him to the test today, yeah? Today, I'm going to give you an iPhone today. You see, yeah? Okay. If he's mentioned your name, I'm going to give you an iPhone today. Do you think he's going to pass that, yeah? All you got to say is your name. Okay. And what your name is? Elia. Okay, cool. Well, we're going to do you have your boyfriend's number? Mm-hmm. Yeah, go on. Call him. Put on speaker. Hello. What's his name? Alex. Am I speaking with Alex? Yeah. Alex, can you say your girlfriend's name?
My girlfriend?
Yeah, your girlfriend. I'm here with your girlfriend. I'm gonna give her an iPhone if you say her name.
Joyce.
Who is that?
My girlfriend's name is Joyce.
Who's Joyce? Hello? Hello, who's Joyce?
Hello?
Hello, who is Joyce?
Hello, I can't hear you. Hello?
Is this hello? Alex.
Oh my god, he just hung up, guys. Oh, how'd you feel about that?
Oh my God!
I don't even know.
Damn. Number 4, if you want to make women feel safe again, as men, we got to challenge misogyny when we see it. We got to stop being afraid of losing friends. Any man that's a threat to a woman can never be a friend to a good man. And you know what? Maybe you're dealing with a man that you know can whoop your ass. You got to fight his ass another kind of way then. You know what I'm saying? I ain't telling you to go out here and do nothing stupid. It doesn't mean you got to run in front of bullets. It doesn't mean you got to run in front of a car. It doesn't mean that you have to die. And one of the ways that we can do that is by standing up against misogyny, bro. If you see some shit that another man doing and you know it's wrong, let that man know he wrong, bro. Let that man feel seen. Sometimes feeling seen be the first step to changing anything. Think about how governments deal with cities and neighborhoods, man. They be putting police presence there so the crime can go down. We need to be that same presence. Because sometimes us just being around will mitigate some of that bullshit that they like to do when they think nobody's there, when they think they alone. Let's be that source of accountability for these men, man. Let's make our women feel safe again. Let's create this trust, man. Let's stop this gender war shit, man. Let's create a dynamic where women can understand that as long as I'm around, you gonna be good.
A lot of men out there don't care about their women. They don't love their women, but they feel the need to remain with her, to be in that relationship or marriage with her, because to them, she's a means to an end for them. To them, they need her services to survive. They need her to have a better life. They need her as servants to cater to their needs. So don't be deceived. I'm not saying all men are this way, but a lot of men are this way. Click this video to watch men that hate their wives and they give low value and low effort in the relationship. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.